What's going on, guys? Austin back, and today I want to go over a couple things regarding Rainbow Six Siege X and just the game in general, right? I feel like, I made a video in the past, maybe reacting to, I think it was Richie's video on how he felt about Siege, and today I want to give my biggest things that need to be addressed in Siege X if this game wants to keep going, if it wants to really come back to a prime state. And I'm not saying that the game is dead. I'm not saying that the game is totally trash, because that's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that I think this game can be a lot better than it is. And with a lot of people maybe falling out of love more with the game, as we see, like, the game isn't as fun as it used to be, right? You see Jinxie now moving more into Clash Royale, like the big creators is what I'm trying to get after. Jinxie, I just saw some about Richie, trying to move away more from Siege just because he doesn't have that much fun anymore. And I think that Siege X needs some major changes, and needs some major additions and things like that for it to really become a game that can, have the popularity it once had, can, increase it, become higher, and really, bring more people to the game, right? And keep it fun and entertaining where, you can't just play it for a little bit and then you leave. So I'm going to be going over my biggest things that I think need to be changed and how they need to be changed, what they need to do, all stuff like that. But before we get in the video, make sure you guys go down into the description. All my socials are down there, and hit the like and subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. All right, so the first thing and the most important thing I think that I'm going to cover in this video on how to make Siege X truly great, and help Siege have this comeback and rise in popularity again, is to change the rank system. Like, I don't know how many times I've said this. I don't know how many times other content creators, I don't know how many times just normal people have said this, bro. No one wants to play rank 2.0 anymore. Yes, when it came out, maybe it was fun because it was a little bit of a breath of fresh air, but now it's just it's gotten to the point where it's just overly bad. You know what I mean? Like, nobody likes rank 2.0 really. And obviously the main points of that being the matchmaking is god awful, bro. Like, I don't know why the idea behind rank 2.0 is you get queued off of a, number you can't even see, right? Your hidden rank. That is how you get queued. And it's funny because some people still don't even know how rank 2.0 works and with the matchmaking. And the matchmaking is literally, you have your real rank that's on the screen. So like, my rank is diamond 2. Let's just say my rank was like gold, right? But my hidden rank was diamond. That means I'm going to be playing diamonds and people around that skill level while I'm in gold. That is what the matchmaking is. It's all based off of a hidden rank that you can't even see, you're never able to see. And as I get the point, maybe, is you need to climb the ladder. It's just a lot of people don't want to play, diamonds and champs, the same people that they're going to be playing when they're diamond and champ in copper. Like, you know what I mean? Like, the logic is just like, well, why would I play, those good of people when I'm down in copper? Shouldn't I have to play copper to get out of copper? And that's how the old rank system is. And I'm not saying, hey, we need to bring back ranked 1.0. We need like a rank 3.0 where it's bringing the best of both worlds, you know what I mean? And adding new things, a new matchmaking. You know what I mean? Like, bring placements back. You know what I mean? The general matchmaking, I think, needs to be close and very resemblance. That is not how you not exactly what I was trying to say, grammarly wise. But basically, they just need to take the best things out of ranked 1.0, change up the matchmaking, add better rewards. I think the rewards, to which I'll talk about more in a second, but the big thing is just rank 2.0 is just not successful. You know what I mean? It makes the game not fun. You can hit champ so easily. You know what I mean? There's nothing to work for once you get champ. Oh, Austin, you can get numbers. Who cares? You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's cool to chase numbers for some people, but like, some people don't want to just chase numbers and then at the end of the season it only show that you got there on your stats screen and Siege Tracker. You know what I mean? There's no cool rewards for getting higher, like in the higher echelon of, the numbered champs. You know what I mean? And there's nothing to keep you going once you get champ, right? That's why ranked, I think, is so bad, is because you get the matchmaking, already, where you're just like, oh my god, and then you get like the rewards where it's just nothing. You know what I mean? And I won't say nothing, because I do like the ideas that they've had to add. You know what I mean? The card backgrounds. I think those are a very cool idea. But you know what I mean? I think they got lazy with them. They're just all the same card background, just with a different rank on them, which I think they just need to change that up a little bit. You know what I mean? Maybe make some of the higher ones animated, stuff like that. Just like simple things that would really make, the rewards better. The headgears that they put in gold, I thought the Thermite one was cool, the first one that they released, but now it's just like, who's rocking that? You know what I mean? And you put one for gold for the past 3 seasons, but you have nothing for these upper echelon ranks, right? You have nothing for champ. When you hit champ, you get the champ charm and the card background that looks the same as everything else. Yes, the charm is very, very cool, and a lot of people like to play for the charm, but they've been kind of mid. I mean, I'm gonna be completely honest, bro. And like the champ one's been mid. The diamond one, I know this season it's purple, but for the past two, it's been like green or like blue. I mean, I don't know, bro. I think just the rank reward needs to be better. They need to add a new rank or something. Just new rewards too to freshen it up. Make it worth grinding for. You know what I mean? Make ranked something that like once you hit champ, it's not just like, okay, I don't really need to play ranked anymore. I can play customs, If you're hitting champ, maybe you're like, oh, I want to play some tourneys or whatever. Like Richie is, you know what I mean? Like he grinds the season at the start of the year, or he grinds the season at the start of the season, gets to champ, and guess what? What else is there for him to do on ranked? You know what I mean? What else is there for those players, right? What else is those for those upper echelon players? Which I guess, you know what I mean? Like not everyone's on that level, but you know what I mean? Even for these lower ranks, add more, add more ranks. Make it so when you hit plat, it's like a huge deal. You know what I mean? Make you when you actually rank up, you're getting a lot more rewards than just these basic rewards. And don't even get me started on the competitive coins, bro. Don't even get me started. This is a whole separate point, but dude, oh my god, the competitive packs, worst rewards I've ever seen. It's like I don't even care about the competitive coins. You know what I mean? You add that as a cool thing, but at least make the rewards cool in that. But yeah, bro, at the end of the day, it's just ranked 2.0 just needs to go. I just queued for ranked game on accident. And we just need something fresh, bro. We need new rewards, new matchmaking, and all this, bro. And it will actually help, bro. If you can make that happen, I guarantee you, and you make the rewards and maybe a new rank, and you do all this stuff, it will make a lot of people grind ranked, not rank, and in turn, you know what I mean, really help the game out. And I think a lot of people would appreciate that. I think obviously that may take a little bit of a time, but I think that's something that if they really put the time in, made the right changes and the correct ones, it would really, really, really make a difference on Siege. All right, and the next thing that I want to bring up in this video is actually the sole reason why I made this video, and was actually the inspiration behind it. And it's basically just the content that we get. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about with this is the lack of maps. And I don't know about you guys, but when they drop like a new operator or a reworked operator or any of this, like when that is the main sticking point, that is the biggest thing they drop in a season, I care about it for maybe a week. And it goes down when it's not that great of an operator, like Ryora, for example. The machine pistol was cool for like a day or two, but then you find out it's butt. She's very situational and not that good of an operator, and you don't play her, right? And you don't play her, and it doesn't really matter. And I think that is my biggest thing, is because yes, they will give us content. I'm not saying they give us a lack of content, but sometimes they do. Sometimes they do, and the big thing is the maps. I think when they, drop a new map, or if they were to drop a new map or like a rework, I find that way more fun and refreshing to the game than them dropping an operator or any of this stuff. And I really want them, and I think it would be a good idea if they prioritized trying to bring at least one new map a year. At least one new map a year, maybe two. Two maybe he's pushing it, but if they can get 1 to 2 maps out a year, and they make it so maybe there's enough maps where each season they can completely cycle the pool, so it's like we're not just playing basically the same maps over and over, just with some reworked operators and some like Ryora-esque operators. You know what I mean? And I'm not saying the operators are bad, because I like when they bring new operators, but if they could prioritize making maps, because the thing with maps is like when you're using an operator, like you can kind of quickly tell like, oh, how should I play this operator? Oh, what should I do with this operator? Oh, how can I, affect each site with it? You can kind of see that very quickly. With a new map, it takes a long time to actually learn, and you put the time in, actually refreshing, you know what I mean? Like, it takes time to learn. You have more time with the map as new content, and maybe, everlasting content than you do have with an operator. And I want to put that out there. Like, if you look at the last three maps, yes, I think they went 2 out of 3 with them. Emerald Plains and Lair being pretty mid. I think Lair is actually not that bad. I think it's just more of like a strategical map, which, I think it's just always banned all the time, so people don't really learn it. But I think Night Haven is like a top 3 map in the game. I think it's such a great map, and if they can, even just bring like a mediocre map, like a villa-esque map, like if they can just stockpile maps on us so they can, refresh the map pool, I think it would just make, it's so much better. It would make it so much better and so much more of like a fresh game because again, like I said already, I'm going to keep repeating myself, but when you're playing the same maps over and over and over and over and over and over, season after season after season, yes, like you can master, you can learn them, you know what I mean? Like it's, Clubhouse. I still love playing Clubhouse and Chalet, even though, I play them almost every day, you know what I mean? It's just like, imagine how much better that would be. You know what I mean? How much more competitive I feel like it would be if you're releasing more new maps, you're shuffling the map pool every season, you know what I mean? If you get to that point where you have enough, it's just it makes a game feel so much more fresh. You know what I mean? It makes it feel so much more fresh. And I think that's what they need to do. Obviously again, like 2 maps maybe is a lot a season, but if they maybe for like or a year, you know what I mean? But if maybe for 3 years they dropped like 2 maps, you know what I mean? That's 6 new maps added to the pool. Then, you can start getting, kind of, oh, here, cycle this, cycle that, cycle that. And also just reworking maps, bro. We'll take reworked maps, you know what I mean? We'll do all this stuff, but just please, I think maps are such a big part of this game and need to be a bigger, focal point on, what new content should be focused on. You know what I mean? Like where the actual, things should be focused on because like for this whole year, I don't know if we're getting a new map or a rework or anything. I forget, but I just know that they're updating all the graphics. So they're spending a year updating the graphics on all the maps. So I'm hoping after that, they go ahead and they like kind of key in on map designs and stuff like that and push more maps out. But yeah, I think that is the biggest thing, content wise, is we need more maps. It would make the game feel more fresh and would really, really help it out, I think. And the last thing that I want to talk about in my like pretty much three biggest points is I think it would be very cool if they just kind of completely reworked the Siege Cup and made it like actually insane. You know what I mean? Actually insane because I think it would be very cool like to have like a Siege Cup where it's just like insane rewards, you know what I mean? It's worth it to actually buckle down for 3 hours on a set time, a set date and just play with your friends and you know what I mean and grind it. I think that would be super cool. I've never even played the Siege Cup. I don't know how long it's been out. I wanted to make a video on it, but honestly, it never really like appealed to me that I need to, actually sit down and do it and get people together, to play the Siege Cup. But if they would make the Siege Cup where it's like, maybe like its own separate rank system where you're owning your own separate rewards, the rewards are like even better than before because it's like a competitive environment and it makes it so like you want to learn strats, you want to go out there and like get the knowledge, you know what I mean? And it's like more intense than an actual like ranked game and it forces people to play it more than a ranked game. I think that would be really great because the Siege Cup to me, like it just, I don't know, it just doesn't feel super serious. And maybe it's just because I've never played it personally, but I just like from what I've seen, you know what I mean? I think a lot of people just kind of play it like it's ranked, you know what I mean? And they go in there and they do it, and because, you know what I mean? There's not really any point in grinding it, right? I literally brought this up earlier, but like you play the Siege Cup for competitive coins. Look at the rewards of the competitive coins. Are you seeing this? Okay, the Zofia one is the only cool one, but like, bro, when you win too, it's like the competitive coins, they're hard to get, right? A pack is 5,000 competitive coins, and the only way you can get 5,000 in one Siege Cup is winning an S tier tournament, which you have to be like a diamond champ rank 4 and kind of have that all across your stack, right? So already it's hard to just get 5,000 and then you spend it on this? Like, huh? You're spending multiple weeks, multiple hours so you can pull this skin? And I get it, I get it. Obviously they have to make it some bad, some good, but like, bro, really? Really, really? Like, are you seeing this? Are you seeing this? So yeah, I mean, like, I just think like the Siege Cup, it's not a bad idea. You know what I mean? And I think they really took the right direction with it. It's just it needs to be reworked a little bit. And it's not me. I'm not like again. I'm not hating. Like this is all constructive criticism at the end of the day. But it's just like you. I feel like for the Siege Cup, when you're making it like a tournament, like I feel like you need to make the rewards busted or something like that. So like it actually like makes you want to play it and then rewards you for like actually trying. You know what I mean? Which, like I said, I think they need to do that more for ranked too. I think they just need to up the stakes. You know what I mean? Of playing good in, you know what I mean? Like up the stakes so it's like you actually want to sit down and grind. You know what I mean? You want to sit down and play the game for the rewards. You know what I mean? In a fresh landscape, maybe with the new maps and stuff like that. And, you know, more maps, maybe, you know, more operate. I don't know. I don't think they should add like too many operators. I think 2 a season is good, maybe 2 reworks. But like, bro, up the stakes in Siege Cup, you know, make the rewards different, make it higher stakes. And honestly, bro, I think it would be a smash hit. I know that they are for season 3 of year 10 actually making these so they happen every week, which I do really like because if you have like a daily tournament every week, that's a really good thing. Like again, like I said earlier, like the direction they're taking with the Siege Cup and like the idea of it and it actually being in the game is really good. It's just I feel like they need to make a few tweaks to actually make it like the Siege Cup, like make it a big deal that I think like if they would do that, it would be a smash hit. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased because I do like the console tournaments and I do really like Pro League, but like, bro, if you can make it anything like that, it would be so peak. So peak. It'd bring so many people to play the game and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to keep yapping. That's my thoughts on the Siege Cup. Just make it better. You know what I mean? I just add some smart changes. Obviously, it doesn't all need to be at once, but just over time, make this so it's really a special game mode that, you know, it can be because it is a great idea. And that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy this one. I know I yapped a lot and complained a lot, but I wouldn't say complain actually because everything in this video that I said was just coming from like someone who plays the games a lot. You know, obviously I've made videos on this game for like 2 years. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean? Like I love it so much and I love creating on it so much. I haven't made like any money off of YouTube, off of any of that, and I still continue to post this because I love this game. I love content creation on this game. You know what I mean? And I want to keep it going and I want to see it actually like be great and not saying that it's not great but be like as good as it can be, you know what I mean, because it has so much potential to be one of the best games ever, you know what I mean. And I think if they can, you know, maybe make some of the changes that I personally think and that, you know, the community thinks, then they could, you know what I mean. So make sure I want to see you guys in the comments. What do you think the biggest change that needs to be made to Siege X is? And this, it could be anything. It could be anything. Just make sure it's constructive criticism. We don't need like hate. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's gonna be all for this video. Like I said, hit the like subscribe button. My socials are down in the description, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.